Sisters who watch. Sisters who watch. Sisters who watch.
Oscars. Hey, y'all. Hey, welcome to Sisters Who Watch.
Hello, I'm Shelby.
And I'm Laura, and we're sisters who watch everything. TV, movies, sports, concerts, and even award shows.
Woo!
Yes, we love to watch, and we love talking about it even more. Today we're watching the Oscars.
The Oscars. Yes, the 98th Academy Awards, hosted by Conan O'Brien on ABC. Soon to be
ABC?
YouTube.
I can't. Death to broadcast. So crazy. Okay, and before we get into our review of the Oscars, please make sure you're giving Sisters Who Watch 5 stars. 5 stars
Please and
wherever
thank
you
you.
listen. Rate, download, subscribe. We really appreciate your support. And follow us on social media at Sisters Who Watch. Okay,
Yes.
Shelby, let's get into it. Coming in to the 98th Academy Awards, what were your expectations?
There was actually a lot of excitement and drama
Yeah.
compared to past years. I think part of it is I actually like the movies that are being nominated.
No, literally. This felt like one of the first years in a while where I really loved some of these movies. Yes.
Because last year it was Nora that won everything. The year before it was
Boo.
Oppenheimer that won everything.
Boo.
And the year before that was Everything Everywhere All at Once. Talk about 3 years in a row with movies I could care less about. What a nightmare.
I can't.
So
Yeah.
I was finally liked a lot of the top movies.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys listened to our best movies of 2025 episode. My top 3 were One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Hamnet, which all were in the conversation for big awards, and spoiler alert, won big awards. So I honestly was coming into it very excited that movies I actually like would win something, but also like curious of like who would actually win. Like a lot of races were up in the air, and in general it was kind of between One Battle After Another and Sinners for like best picture, a lot of the top awards, and people were now like, ooh, maybe One Battle isn't the front runner, like what could happen. And then you had other instances where Timothee Chalamet had been like the front runner for best actor, but then lost the BAFTA and the SAG, and then all of a sudden it was like, ooh, could Michael B. Jordan win? And then even best supporting actress, you had Tiana Taylor win the Golden Globe, and Wunmi win the BAFTA, and then Amy Madigan win the Actor Awards. It was like, wait, what is going on? So I honestly knew there was going to be like a lot of competitive races and potential surprises. So I was actually excited to watch the Oscars for the first time in a while. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. I think this year, One Battle After Another is one of my favorite movies I've seen like in a long time. I really loved that movie, and we watched it a second time. Was that like a couple months ago in February? We saw One Battle with our grandpa and uncle.
With our papa and Uncle Reg when we had been in Memphis for the wedding. And went to Mississippi.
Yeah, so that was in February. So I saw it again recently, and it honestly held up better the second time because there were nuggets. Like the car, you see the car from the final scene in the middle of the movie, and you just had no idea on your first watch. And you're like, wait, that's the guy. So the movie is a masterpiece. I think it's honestly one of my favorite movies of all time. I love that movie. And so the fact that it was a front runner made me very excited. And I did really enjoy Sinners. I didn't love it as much as One Battle, but I was obviously so happy it was getting so much awards love. So I was rooting for One Battle, but if Sinners had a sweep, I would have loved it. I would have been very happy because it's like, Black director, Black creator, Black story, Mississippi story. So it's one of those things, I would have been really happy if Sinners swept. So my 2 favorite movies were kind of leading the charge. So I was also excited about the Oscars. I was like, okay, Black stories, let's go.
Yes. And there was also just like so much commentary, like this, like whether I will say all my social media is very Black. So it felt like everyone was talking about, oh my gosh, will Sinners win?
And then Michael B. Jordan.
And Michael B. Jordan. And then everyone was talking about Timothee Chalamet's ballet and opera comments. Like it just like everyone was kind of talking about what's going to happen at the Oscars and all these debates.
Yeah. What did you think of
buzzing.
Timothee Chalamet's ballet and opera comment? For the people who do not know about this because I feel like you needed to be online to hear about this. So, yeah, can you inform the people about this controversy?
Yes, it's so funny. Like, oh, one thing I'll say is like there are so many memes and headlines like Marty not so supreme, how to lose an Oscar in 10 days. Like it's just so
Right.
funny all the commentary about
Because
this. But yes,
he was the front runner.
crazy.
I
That's
know.
why award season it's long. You gotta be able to withstand it, keep the momentum. Which is again why Sinners was impressive. It came out last April, almost a year ago.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers had a great campaign. I digress. Back to your original question. So, the ballet and opera drama came from an interview that Timothee Chalamet did with Matthew McConaughey that Variety hosted almost like a month ago. So this was a while ago, like not a while ago, but about a month ago, 5-ish weeks. And it dropped and it was right exciting moment. Timothée Chalamet was in Interstellar playing Matthew McConaughey's son in the movie. So it was a big deal for him to be interviewed by him. And it was just kind of
Wait,
like he was reflecting on his career.
Timothée Chalamet was in Interstellar?
Yes, it was one of his first big roles.
What?
But they
I don't
cut
even
out a lot of his
remember that.
scenes.
I was like, I don't remember him being in
Yeah.
that movie.
They cut out a lot of his scenes. It's not a movie I've rewatched, but apparently people now, you rewatch it, you're like, oh my gosh, Chalamet. You're like the Leo meme. But that movie isn't really my thing, so I've not rewatched it. But yes, he was Matthew McConaughey's son in Interstellar. Crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah. And so they have this really in-depth conversation, like I think almost an hour or so. And Matthew McConaughey asked him about like kind of the state of film and the industry, and Timothy's trying to explain why he cares so much about film and why he thinks it's an important medium. And he makes a comment like, oh yeah, this is like real art. And he says like, I don't want to do dying art forms like opera or ballet. And then he jokes like, ooh, I just insulted a group. There I go. I lost 14 cents or something. Like he is really shady. And what's crazy is the clip was like resurfaced and went viral weeks later, right before the Oscars. Crazy. Oscar voting had already ended. Right. So it didn't impact Oscar voting, but it impacted how everyone felt about Timothée. PR crisis. Yeah. PR especially crisis. Like my issue with it. Why are you coming for other art? Let's all support each other. Like,
yeah, we're all artists.
We all know ballet and opera is not as popular as like movies and TV. Like, right. It's also a more expensive art form. It's harder to obtain and go to. But you have passionate fans, Yes. And it has a long history. It's been along way longer than film and TV.
Right.
But my biggest issue with his comments were you find out that his mom and grandma and sister were trained ballet dancers. And I'm like, wait, you're insulting the medium that your family, the women in your life trained and dedicated their lives to? That just is so rude to me.
It's giving like, doesn't respect women, ?
Yeah, it really, honestly, I was like, oh. And Timothée Chalamet, before being with Kylie Jenner, I thought he was like an actor. Like he was giving artist, right? He went to LaGuardia High School, for those of you who know, in New York City. That's like the premier performing arts school. Like he, made all these really good acting choices, similar to Leonardo DiCaprio, like picking great movies, always crushing it. He gave like a real artist, but these comments, and apparently he said them years before too. Like this was him doubling down. He's had this perspective about opera and ballet.
Yes.
As being dead art forms. I think it shows, he's just kind of like a frat boy or like a spoiled like boy. Like, it's giving child. It's giving man-child. And that's disappointing for I think a lot of people, including myself, who thought he was a real artist. But I think we should have realized when he was dating Kylie Jenner, no offense, what kind of man he was. Like that should have been as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a really bad controversy. Everyone like coming for him. He was the butt of a lot of jokes at the Oscars last night.
Yeah.
And I thought it was hilarious when Conan O'Brien was like, oh, yeah, there's tight security in LA tonight. And if you were paying attention to the news, it's because threats that Iran would do something in LA. Like crazy. And he's like, yeah, all the ballet and opera performers are like circling or something. It was hilarious. It was so funny.
Yeah, because he looked so like awkward in the audience. He was like, haha.
Yikes.
Yeah, I think that It's interesting because when I first saw the clips online, I'm like, oh, like why would he say that? That's just like it's a dig, and it's like, sorry, we can't all be movie stars, Timothée Chalamet. Like, don't come for my art. And it was interesting. Um, they were like, a lot of the comments were like, if anything, like cinema is a dying art. Like no one's going to movie theaters. If anything, going to a movie theater is a dying art. So it just is a really strange that he would, I don't know, attack other art forms. It just feels like such a strange hill to die on. And right, I saw compilations. It's like all the times Timothée Chalamet came for ballet and opera, and it's like this is a thing that he's been saying for like it seems like at least a few years. So it's just strange. I will also say I've never been a Timothée Chalamet fan. Shelby knows I've never been a Timothée Chalamet fan, and especially when you start dating Kylie Jenner, I was like, I'm never going to like this human being. Like never, because the person
Brutal.
who dates a Kardashian is a very specific type of person, and they're someone I don't like. If you associate with the Kardashians, I do not like you. So that is just a rule that I have. So especially when you start dating her, I was like, there's a reason why I've never liked this man. Never. So I'm not a Timmy fan. I've never been a Timmy fan. Sure, he's talented, but he's clearly not like the best person. And it's like talent, I don't know. It's like people who are like, intelligence is overrated, talent is overrated. Like maybe be a nice person and then I'll respect you. You know what I mean? Like I don't care that you're a good actor if you're not a good person.
This whole controversy, right, happened after Oscar voting ended. So Michael B. Jordan was going to win regardless.
Exactly.
Right? So people were already getting annoyed with Chalamet. They were already like over his bit. They were over the Marty Supreme Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Apparently people felt like, oh, maybe he is more like the Marty Supreme character than we thought. And I will say, I am on the record saying that I couldn't get behind the movie because I thought the character was too awful. And maybe Timmy was so good in it because he was playing himself.
He's that kind of guy. I mean, he has this, it's like when earlier this year, well, last year, he was like, I want to be one of the greats. And people like
last year when he was accepting a SAG award.
Yes. So, and I think a lot of people, right, that rubbed them the wrong way. And
Which didn't bother me.
It didn't bother me in the moment either. But I think now you're seeing, you know, kind of a pattern of his behavior. And he does have this sense of entitlement. He does. And it's interesting. I saw the Oscars at a watch party yesterday, and I was talking to this girl who's like who plays the harp, and she's like does classical music, and other people at the party, and we were talking about Timothée Chalamet because right, he was the butt of a lot of jokes. Everyone is talking about him, and a couple of people were like, I don't know why this is such a big deal. Like it was interesting because I feel like you and I and the internet is like, what's wrong with him? He's terrible.
Yeah.
And several people at the party were like, I don't understand why people are so mad. Like it seemed just like a funny kind of flippant comment that wasn't that serious. It seems like some people are still out here defending Timmy. Timmy has his, you know, sympathizers.
And here's the thing. I think he's a great actor. Unlike you, I wouldn't say I'm a fan, but I appreciate his work, you know? So I think Timmy will win an Oscar. I think he's
nominated
really
literally
talented.
every year. It's like, why are we so mad that he didn't win? Some people are like, Timmy was robbed. I'm like, he's nominated literally every year. This man's going to win an Oscar in the next like year or two. Like he's like, how old is he? 30?
He needs to be humbled a little bit.
This man, give him another 10 years. Give it to him while he's in his 40s. Like this man's going to get nominated every year. Yeah.
They never award it to young men for some reason. Michael B. Jordan's kind of young to be a Best Actor winner, which is wild. Like he's 38 or 39, but he's been acting since he was like 10.
I know. He's been
around.
So
when you think about it, he's been around so long. So he actually, compared to like Timmy and some other people, he's kind of a veteran, you know, like he's technically young.
Yeah, he's
younger, under 40. He's younger.
And he also gives young. He just looks young.
He doesn't give like he's basically 40, you know.
No, I wouldn't have guessed that Michael B. I would have thought he was like 35.
No, he's 35. Older than you think.
Yes, he's older than you think.
He's 39.
We've been watching Michael B. Jordan for a very long time. Like we watched him on Friday Night Lights. And that was like, how many years ago was that show? 15 years ago?
I know.
Right?
And some people know him from The Wire. I didn't watch that.
I didn't watch that.
He was on that, which was even earlier. Like This
But
man
that
has
was
been
the
working.
first, yeah, he's been
He's
working.
been
So that
working.
was the Friday Night Lights was the first thing that I ever saw him. And I remember, it's crazy. Like, I remember Jason was like, guys, we gotta watch this movie, Fruitvale Station. We gotta watch this movie.
So
And
it's so good.
I remember watching it like the year or two it came out. And it's crazy that both of them just won Oscars together. Like, it's just so surreal. Oakland, Bay Area, let's go. Ryan Coogler, Fruitvale Station. Every time I'm on the BART, I see Fruitvale Station on the BART, and I'm like, oh, Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, so it's just, I feel like we've been following both Coogler and Michael B. for a long time. So it
He's
just
one of my
felt
favorite
like
filmmakers.
a
Like
full
when
circle
I
moment.
remember in film classes in college, like asked like, "Oh, who are your favorite filmmakers?" Ryan Coogler, Ava DuVernay. Like
Yeah.
he, as someone like I love very like realistic, authentic stories,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's what Ryan does. I think he
Yes.
like really humanizes characters, and it's like interesting. Like Sinners and like Black Panther had like kind of like fantasy elements, but the
Yeah.
core of it, it's like relationships
Yeah.
and human-centered stories. And that's what I love in his work. So I'm like such a big fan. And so I honestly, even though he did not win like best director or best picture, which I'm not surprised by, we can get into that. I'm
Yeah.
so happy he got his first Oscar for best original screenplay. So well
Huge.
deserved because Sinner is so
Huge.
creative.
Yeah. Super
And
unique.
he's now an Oscar winner. Like, think about it. Spike Lee got an Oscar for co-writing Black Klansman like a couple years ago.
Yeah,
like
that was pretty recent.
It was pretty recent. Like, it is hard to win an Oscar. Paul Thomas Anderson had been
And
nominated
just won his
14
first
times
Crazy.
and had never won.
Yeah.
Like,
And
it is hard to win an Oscar.
At the
Like,
watch
this should
party,
be celebrated.
people were like, wait, PT has never won an Oscar until yesterday? It's
That's
crazy. And he's been around a very long time.
Yes. And so that's what's interesting, because I think people, of course, and I'm always rooting for everybody Black, but I think people are upset that One Battle won and Paul Thomas Anderson won. And part of it is like, I think now people are changing their tune, because it's like, oh yeah, Sinner should have won. I'm like, this is an objectively good movie.
Yes.
And also, I think some people don't, maybe they're new to like film in the industry.
Yeah.
But like Paul Thomas Anderson is like an icon. A lot of people think he's one of the best filmmakers of our generation. Yeah. And the fact that he had never won is crazy. Like, this was his to win. And a lot of times I think people don't realize the Academy does this quite a bit. Like, we never awarded Al Pacino an Oscar. He should have probably won for, The Godfather, but we're going to give it to him for Son of a Woman. Like, this happens. I think this is different because I actually think One Battle was a really good movie.
Yeah.
But I do think this was PTA's year, and he was very deserving. And so I don't like the backlash that he in One Battle's getting, because I genuinely like the movie, and I think he's a really important filmmaker.
Yeah, and also it'd be different if The Shape of Water beat Sinners. You know what
That's what I'm saying.
Like, One Battle After Another is objectively like such a phenomenal movie. I mean, some people didn't like it, but I loved it. Like, so for me, I'm like, One Battle is a better movie than Sinners. Like, I don't know what to tell y'all. And Sinners did so well. Like, the fact that it won so many Oscars. I don't think
people understand. Like, winning an Oscar is such a big feat. The fact that Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler won, and then Autumn won, being the first woman ever to win Best Cinematography.
That's
like,
insane.
The weight of the wins that Sinners got was huge.
Yeah, huge.
Like,
huge.
That is such a big deal.
Yes, that was a great, some of my favorite moments, of course, when Autumn won Best Cinematographer. Like, everyone at the watch party I was at was just so excited. Like, that was such... Yes, that was such a great moment. And of course, when Michael B won, I was like starting to tear up. I was like, Michael B Jordan, like, this is crazy. And his speech was so good. Michael B Jordan winning Best Actor is crazy. I was watching this, I'm like, is this real? Is this real?
I screamed.
The whole room stood up and gave him a standing ovation. Crazy. That made me emotional. I was like, oh my goodness, like, fam, we made it. And he was like, thank you for everyone at home who's been riding with me. And I was like, yes.
Literally, I know
Yes.
so many people on threads were like, "Thank you, Michael B. Jordan, for shouting me out in your speech."
Yeah.
Because I did see Sinners multiple times.
No, but I thought, Shelby, I thought of you. He was like, "Thank you for everyone who saw Sinners 2, 3, 4, 5 times." I was like, Shelby's seen Sinners like 12 times this past year. I literally
Well,
thought
it's a
of
lot,
you.
but no, I literally
Saw it a lot of times.
I was like, yes, I am a part of the group that supported.
Yes.
And
That was so
that shows you I like
special.
Ryan Coogler, because the last time I saw a movie twice in theaters was Black Panther. I don't do that
Yeah.
often.
No.
And then, of course, I saw it when it was at home. I went to see it, at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, and Ryan Coogler showed up to do a
I know
special intro.
you've seen it so many times.
I never see movies this much.
I felt like every other month you're like, Shelby, I swore I saw Sinners again. I'm like, how are you seeing this movie so much? Yeah, those are two highlights for me, and of course, Coogler winning was amazing. Another moment that I liked was the first ever casting award. That was super cool, and
that was an upset.
Yes, because I voted for Sinners. Oh, I was a part of a pool.
Thought Sinners would win.
Yes, and so I voted for all the different awards, and I voted for Sinners because that's what everyone was saying. But then One Battle won, so that was surprising. But I mean, the fact that Chase Infinity was like the main character for the second half of the film, and she had never been in a movie, which is crazy. And she was fantastic. Yes. I robbed Queen. She should have been nominated for Best Actress. I was upset about that.
Which is why I think people should not be upset about Sinners not winning this. I think it was between Sinners and One Battle, but when you think about it, they both discovered someone, right?
Yeah.
Francine discovered Miles, and then Lauren was her name. I don't remember the casting director for One Battle, but she discovered Chase, So it's like there was both really good decisions, I think, on both sides. And I am like, if every time Sinners didn't win, I was like, I'm happy One Battle wins,
Right. If Sinners didn't win, One Battle won for most of them. So
great.
I was happy. I also know that Amy Madigan winning Best Supporting Actress were you surprised by that? I know there was a lot of contention.
I was surprised, but I shouldn't have been. Like you, I was in a pool with work, and we find out tomorrow who wins.
Oh.
I only got 5 wrong. But I should have gotten 3 wrong because I, for some reason, didn't think Amy Madigan was going to win. And she was one of I should have just gone with my gut. I'm like, she won the actor award. Like, she's an OG white woman that's been in the industry for 40 years. They love to give people like that.
I know they do.
Also love to award villains in supporting roles. Javier Bardem won for No Country for Old Men. Heath Ledger won as the Joker in The Dark Knight. Yeah. So I should have thought of history, and instead I went emotional, and I thought Tiana Taylor or Wunmi would win. Mistake. And then the other one that I shouldn't have picked is I didn't think Sean Penn would win. I thought they would give it to someone new, like Stellan Skarsgård, who also been in the industry a while, paid his dues. I
picked Delroy. I picked Delroy to win.
I know a lot of people did. I love Delroy, but I was like, they're not going to give Sinners that many. I'm sorry. I was like, there's no way. So that's why I didn't pick Delroy.
I was also surprised by Sean Penn. And then one of the girls at the watch party was like, he's won every single award. He's swept the entire award season. And I'm like, but he's just won so many times. Yes, he was absolutely fantastic in One Battle. Like, it's deserved. But I was surprised. I didn't think he would win. And he wasn't there.
So that's my thing. Two reasons why I wasn't happy he won. I agree. Yeah. He was great in the part.
Yeah.
And fantastic. So if it's just based on being great, sure. But everyone in that category was great.
Yeah, everyone was great.
And when everyone is great, you have to split hairs and think of other things like story and momentum. And what else? You have to look at the history. It's like, oh, he's already won twice. I think that should be something that you think about. And some people disagree.
3 Oscars? Come on now.
That's rare territory. Yeah. Not many actors have 3 Oscars, right? That's like Meryl Streep level.
Yeah.
And so Sean Penn is a great actor, but do you think of him and Meryl Streep in the same sentence? And like Jack Nicholson? Probably not.
Yeah.
And so for me, you need to think about that too. Okay, he already has 2 Oscars. You also need to think about the facts. He probably won't show up. And people are like, oh, you don't vote based on who's going to show up. Well, maybe you should, because you want to have a good speech.
Yeah.
It's so awkward to have 4 people that are in the room that are honored to be nominated and worked really hard, for them to have to hear someone's name who isn't even there to accept it. It's kind of a slap in the face, especially again when everyone else, in my opinion, was deserving. I thought Benicio was great in One Battle.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought Jacob Elordi was great in Frankenstein. I thought Delroy was great in Sinners. Sentimental Value was not my favorite movie. We've talked about this, but
Not at all.
Stellan Skarsgård was good. You know, like I honestly, you could have given it to anyone, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's interesting. Another surprise. It was the best international feature because
You were surprised.
I mean,
I picked Sentimental Value.
I just didn't like that movie kind of at all. And it's interesting because I went to Cannes last year, listened to our Cannes episode, and that movie was so hyped. Everyone's like, Palme d'Or winner, Sentimental Value. Everyone was talking about it. And I watched it and I was like, is this the right movie? Because I literally thought it was so boring. I was like, there's no plot. Like I just did not like it. And maybe I need to watch it again because that was, almost a year ago. But when I enjoyed The Secret Agent more, and The Secret Agent was nominated for, Best Picture too, so I thought maybe that would win, and it also was just a much better movie. But everyone in the room at the watch party was like, we love Sentimental Value. And I'm like, is it? Maybe it's just me, but I know you also didn't love it either.
I thought it was fine.
I'm just like,
okay.
Am I crazy? I'm like, this movie was just not that good.
I thought it was a subtle film, and so I think maybe
very
that's
subtle.
It was very subtle.
Very subtle.
I think it was like a sweet look at like relationships and fatherhood and family and history, like the shots of them like being in that house over the years and the flashbacks to like his mom, like, and you find out the story he wrote is about his mom that ended up like committing suicide. Like I do think it was well written and well acted, but it was boring.
It was so boring.
Very boring.
So boring. I was literally like trying so hard not to doze off during that movie.
Whereas The Secret Agent was like thrilling, and so
yes,
a lot of people thought Secret Agent could potentially win, but I did vote for Sentimental Value, even though I like Secret Agent more. I had to like go with the fact that Sentimental Value had so many nominations, like 2 actors nominated in Best Supporting Actress.
Yeah, it was also bizarre how many nominations it got. And I'm like
that's a sign sometimes, like, oh, there's clearly support for this movie.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna vote for it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of my bigger hot takes. Not like
another surprise was like the tie in Best Live Action Short.
Yeah, that was interesting.
First time there was a tie in like 14 years. I'm like, okay. Like, I genuinely want to know, does that mean they got the same exact count of votes? Does that mean it was like percentage off? Like,
yeah.
How do you decide it's a tie? Yeah, I need to know. I need more context.
Yeah.
So that was surprising. I also, even though I didn't see any of the best documentaries, I was surprised that The Perfect Neighbor did not win. That was like the clear front runner.
Yeah.
And, I'm always rooting for everybody black. So it's like all black production team. I was like, oh my gosh. Classic. So when they lost, I was like, and I don't know if you saw in the show, they were all sitting right in front of them. So they looked devastated when they were showing the Mr. Nobody Against Impunity behind them. I
didn't notice that. But I thought The Perfect Neighbor was a movie that so many people were talking about. Yeah. So I was surprised that it lost. I chose it too. And I heard it was like really fantastic. I just don't want to be more triggered than I already am. So I have not watched it because I heard it's like a rough watch. But I heard it's amazing.
I personally was surprised like how bad the production value was. I made a TikTok about this. And I'm sorry. This is the biggest award show that is out there. Do you rehearse? Like, why were there sound issues? Like when Barbara Streisand is talking with In Memoriam, you have like mute loud piano playing over her. She's trying to speak. We can't hear her. Why when like Conan O'Brien is back from break and he's like talking into the mic, like he's not live? Like he's live. Welcome us back to the show.
Yeah.
Like, why were you cutting off speeches left and right?
Yeah.
When you let these presenters go on and on with awful bits that weren't funny.
Yeah, the presenters were really bad this year.
I'm telling you, I don't want to see Captain America and Iron Man go back and forth.
That was way too long.
Bridesmaids,
the Bridesmaids one was too long.
The bit was awful and it was too long. I was barely laughing. The only thing I laughed at was when Maya Rudolph was like, earlier today when I was counting my money, I was thinking about what is sound. Like, it was just so bizarre. But
Yeah,
I
that
honestly,
bit was terrible. All the bits were
the
bad.
only bit that I thought was good was the Anne Hathaway and Anna Wintour. Like, I
Yeah,
thought
yeah, that
that
was
one was a good
decent.
bit.
That was decent.
Yeah, decent's probably better.
I know.
Like, all the
It wasn't.
bits,
It wasn't bad.
honestly, instead of cutting off speeches, you did not have to be 40 minutes over if you had just cut all the bits. And even
Yeah.
Conan O'Brien, I'm sorry, he wasn't even that funny.
His monologue was okay. His monologue was okay.
You could have cut his monologue in half. I didn't need to see him and Sterling K. Brown do a Casablanca tribute. I didn't need to see Jane Lynch pretend to be YouTube ads because we're worried about YouTube having the Oscars. Like, cut it all out. None of it was funny. None of it.
Interesting. I feel like if you're watching it by yourself, it's probably not hitting. But I like in a room with like 20 other people, the Sterling K. Brown bit hit. Like, people were laughing and people were liking it. The YouTube bit, like, people were also not as much as the Sterling K. Brown bit, but people liked the YouTube bit. But I thought his opening scene when he's dressed up as like the villain from Weapons, like I thought that was like
Gladys.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting enough. Like, I thought that was entertaining.
Yeah, I didn't mention that one. I thought that was the only good bit.
Yeah, but his actual monologue I thought was like long and it felt a little boring. I was surprised I didn't like it as much.
Yeah, I didn't like any of the jokes, honestly, throughout the evening. The only production choices I liked were, one, the 2 musical performances. We didn't need performances of all the original songs. Choose the most popular ones. Great. I Lied to You and Golden. I also think the I Lied to You one was really cool because they recreated that scene.
Yeah, that was great.
And you had cameos, which I don't know if we needed to see Shabuzi and the Alabama Shakes singer, but sure. The cameo I liked was Misty Copeland. Yeah, like, I don't know if that was needed, but
yeah, and Shabuzi was literally there for like half a second. It felt a little like chaotic at some points. Like, I felt like the sound mixing was off.
No, Laura, I completely agree.
The In Memoriam was really good. A lot better than usual In Memoriams because there were, just a lot of Hollywood icons have passed recently. So I did enjoy that. Was there anything else about the Oscars that stood out to you?
Yes. The last thing I'll mention is I thought Jessie Buckley had a really good speech talking about, like, motherhood and this is for moms and talking about how much she loves her husband and her daughter. I thought that was sweet. And even though she probably knew she was going to win because she's won every precursor award, she felt like very grateful and like humble. And I thought that was sweet.
Yeah.
So and I know you didn't like Hamnet. I did. So I was glad Hamnet did get an award because that was also one of my favorite movies of the year. Yeah. So for the most part, I feel like they spread the wealth. There were a few movies that didn't win anything though, which, you know, never fun. Marty Supreme left with a goose egg.
Oops.
And so did The Secret Agent. Goose egg. I think, given how many people seem to like Marty Supreme, I was a little surprised. But when you think about it, I don't know where it would have won. It wasn't going to win director. It wasn't going to win screenplay. It wasn't going to win actor. Like, it was
in a
honestly,
weaker year. It could have
in a weaker year. Marty Supreme probably would have won. But this, honestly, I think was a really competitive year.
I think overall, this is one of the better Oscars I've seen in a long time because it felt like, you know, 2 movies that we both really enjoyed were on top. And that just, you know, it felt like a big night for Black people. Like, I just felt so seen.
And they were important wins. Ryan Coogler is so important.
Yes.
Michael B. Jordan is so important. Paul Thomas Anderson, right? You might be... people are coming for him right now, which I don't think is justified, but it's so important. Like, these are like
his
important
movie is like
filmmakers.
Half of the cast is Black woman in the movie. It's
Lord, this is
a Black woman movie.
We've already talked about this in our One Battle episode, so please listen. But I think that people just are surface level looking at it and they're like, oh, he's fetishizing Black women, it's racist, da da da. I'm like, I don't think you guys have actually watched the movie. Or you just didn't understand the movie. Because there are people that have seen it and are like, oh, she's just a whore. I'm like, what? Like, she is, like, honestly, Laura, I was having this conversation over the weekend and I thought I was losing my mind. I was like, everything that Tiana does is powerful. She's using her body to take advantage of these men. And maybe that's hard for you to understand. And be like, well, she's not a good mom. Well, you don't always have to be a good mom. Black women can
Right.
be
And
bad moms.
yeah,
It's
and
like,
that's the point. She's a
I think
nuanced
it's hard for people
character.
to
Yeah.
understand. Like, she chose the revolution and wasn't the best revolutionary, was very selfish, but eventually, right, writes a letter to her daughter and is like trying to like still be there for her from afar. Like,
Yeah.
she
She's
learned.
she's a selfish person who chose
Yeah.
herself over and over again. And
Yes.
she's trying to do better now. Right. And like, why do Black women have to be perfect characters? Like, she can be an
Ugh.
evil person. Who cares?
I'm like, is it better when we're slaves like Lupita? Is it better when we're a maid like Octavia? Like, I don't know, man. It's just,
Yeah,
it's hard.
I honestly don't understand, yeah, that discourse.
Yeah, and now people are like, oh, One Battle isn't really about revolutionaries. It's not a political movie. He doesn't go deep enough. I'm like, honestly, I
Need
don't
to
want to hear
watch
people come
the
for this movie anymore because it's a good movie. And
It's a
now everyone's just
fantastic
trying to
movie.
overanalyze, psychoanalyze, poke holes. Like, relax.
Interesting.
Let's enjoy the movie for what it is.
Well, joke's on them because it won Best Picture. So
Yeah.
y'all
Keep
can hate.
psychoanalyzing all you want.
Keep hating. Keep hating. Yeah. So I thought I enjoyed the show more so than
So good.
usual. Yeah. So I feel like this was a really good year for movies. So I'm excited. So on
Mhm.
to our what to watch segment. We kind of talked about this in our highly anticipated movies. What movie, Shelby, what movie do you predict will sweep next year's Oscars? If you had to take a guess, maybe one or two movies.
I'd say Dune Part 3. And the reason I say Dune Part 3 is
Interesting.
because it's the conclusion of the Dune franchise. The
Mm-hmm.
last two-part Dunes have been nominated, but didn't win
Mm-hmm.
anything. And because this is the last one, because Denis Villeneuve is another filmmaker that is really respected, but I don't think has won an Oscar before. So I think that could be it. And people can't be sick of Timothée. He's back.
People like, this is so unfair. Timothée Chalamet lost for Marty Supreme.
Timothy's
I'm
gonna
like,
be
he's nominated every year, guys.
on his revenge
Relax.
tour.
Relax.
So yeah, honestly,
he's in too many movies.
I think, and then Zendaya's in it. It also has like Robert Pattinson. Like, I think
Yeah.
Dune Part 3 is gonna be my best bet.
Okay, that's a good pick.
If I had to pick a second, I would say The Odyssey.
Clearly, they're obsessed with Christopher Nolan. Oppenheimer won like everything.
I know.
So that's my pick. I think that's gonna be the Oscars' darling for next year. So we'll see about next Oscar season. Let us know what your predictions are and what you thought of this show. Okay, well, if you enjoyed this episode of Sisters We Watch, please make sure you're giving us 5 stars. 5 stars wherever you listen, rate, download, subscribe, and follow us on social media at Sisters Who Watch.
Yes, we really want to hear from y'all. So please like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think. Give us recommendations on what to watch next.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the support. Stay watching.
Stay watching.